Today is June 19th and it is Juneteenth, and I want to honor that. Today in 1865, 2 years after the Emancipation Proclamation, slaves in Texas were notified by Union soldiers that were indeed free. Slavery was over. It is our Independence Day. This day is celebrated as the end of slavery in the United States of America. We as Black people stand on the shoulders of our ancestors.
Shine with Kendall Lanice. Real talk for real people. Let's shine together. Shine with Kendall Lanice. Real talk for real people. Let's shine together.
Lanice. I am here every Wednesday live at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is Shine, and I shine my spotlight on people, topics, and subjects that are real and relevant to you. Before we get started, we have a great show, first of all, today. And I say we because I have an amazing guest coming on in just a little bit. But before we get to our guest and to the remainder of the show, I would like to start with my life note. All right, it's time for this week's life note. All right. So if you're just tuning in to Shine for the very first time, in the beginning of the show, I like to give a life note. That's a quote or a saying that will carry us through the rest of the show and through the rest of your lives, hopefully, if you keep it with you. So today's life note is quite simple. Gratitude changes everything. That is the life note for today's show. Gratitude changes everything. So again, I am Kendall Lanice. I am a transformational expert. I cannot talk today. Obviously, I'm not a speaker today. I am a transformational expert and I am a speaker as well as an author. But my passion and my purpose is always to elevate someone else, allow people to see the shine in them. I go by the name of Lady Motivator. So I'm excited about our show today because the topic is on the heels of my 48th birthday. That's right. Your girl turned 48 on June 17th. And I'm grateful. And all I've been doing is showing gratitude. I am so thankful that God decided to give me another birthday. I don't take that for granted. I know a lot of people just anticipate their birthdays to celebrate, so they can get things and gifts and go places. But truthfully, I'm just grateful to be alive, and I'm grateful to be in great health and have love and have friendship and have relationships outside of intimate relationships, but just relationships with people out there and relationships with you guys. It's important for me to do this show using my voice for good, to help elevate you all to the next level. That truly is my purpose. And I like to always say we can shine together. This is real talk for real people, as my intro stated. So as I stated that my birthday was just June 17th, and I've been in just a constant state of gratitude and trying to express kindness, even more than usual. I think it's so important as people for us to do that for one another. So I shine my spotlight tonight on gratitude and kindness. I also have a guest coming momentarily, and this is also part of the Women Bosses series. This is show 3, and I will have Beck coming up just in a little bit, and she's going to talk about her business, Purple Moon Escapes. All right, so let's talk about gratitude before my guest comes on the show. So what is gratitude? A lot of people say you have to have the attitude of gratitude. But what is gratitude? Gratitude is the quality of being thankful, readiness to show appreciation, and return kindness. Okay, you've heard about kindness. What is kindness, right? Kindness is the quality of being friendly, generous, and considerate. These are things that we're taught, hopefully, as children. I know we're taught this in kindergarten. And then once we get into the upper grades, get into high school, get into college, we forget how to be kind. We forget to be grateful and thankful and to express that to the people around us. So I want to talk about gratitude and kindness because I think it's important, and it's it's lost. And there are benefits to gratitude and having the attitude of gratitude. The attitude of gratitude can really change your life. And as I researched for this show, and that's right, I did research for this show, because I can tell you as a life coach and the people that I speak to and what I'm trying to help people achieve and accomplish. And when I go speak at different events and conferences and I talk about different things like this, it's easy to speak from the heart. It's easy to speak from your experiences. I've been doing this work for over 20 years, so it's easy to do that. But in order to be better, as I stated, that this show is about betterment and evolution. And so I research a lot, and I read a lot, and I study a lot, because that makes you better in any field. So if you continue to study and you continue to grow in your field, you will be, I don't want to say at the top of your field, because I'm a firm believer of constant education and continuing to grow. But as I was on happierhuman.com, they had 31 benefits of gratitude, having the attitude of gratitude. So I just want to talk about 6 or 7 of them. But just being grateful and thankful and having the attitude of gratitude, it really makes us happier. It improves our health, relationships, emotions, and personalities, as well as our jobs and careers. Gratitude also boosts our careers. It increases decision-making capabilities and productivity. It helps you achieve your goals. And then also with gratitude, it strengthens our emotions and reduces feelings of envy. It makes memories. It makes us happier and good feelings. And it helps us bounce back from stress. Gratitude makes us more optimistic as well. It's correlated with optimism, which increases the lifespan by as much as a few years. Gratitude increases spiritualism as well as just your religious background. So if you're a spiritual person or if you're a religious person, you're taught to be grateful and to be thankful and express gratitude. But it also gives a rise in our behavior. It makes us act differently. It makes us walk differently. It makes us talk differently when we are gracious and when we show and express gratitude. Gratitude also increases self-esteem. Gratitude improves your sleep, believe it or not. A lot of people just don't understand that when you're grateful and you're thankful for your life and the things that are happening in your life, you stress less because you're not concerned about what didn't happen. You're focusing on what did happen and you're focusing on your blessings. So when I say gratitude improves your sleep, it increases sleep quality. It reduces the time required to fall asleep. And get this. So when you're asleep and you're in bed and you're trying to go to sleep, you're worrying about your kids, your job, money, anxiety. You're stressing over whatever you stress about at night, and our bodies will hold that. And it reduces the sleep quality and cuts off your sleep. You ever wake up several times in the middle of the night because you're thinking about all of these things? But if you focus on gratitude and just being thankful, I know it sounds kumbaya, but it's really true and it works. And you'll forget about, now it doesn't mean forget about the bill that's due tomorrow, but it will help you realize that it's just a bill and you don't owe anyone your life. You owe them money, and you got to remember that. But kindness. So the benefits of kindness, you would say, okay, well, I know the benefits of kindness. I was always taught to be kind, but do you still carry that with you? Because check this out. It's proven that kindness and the act of giving is a natural antidepressant, because they release serotonin in the brain. And serotonin plays an important part of learning and memory and mood and sleep and health and digestion. So just by being kind, you are releasing a natural antidepressant. So think about the people that are on loads of medication and people that are going through, therapy. And I recommend therapy and life coaching and counseling or whatever you need to get back to yourself or to the self that you know you are. You just need some help getting there. But also it contributes to a healthy heart. And when you're talking about healthy hearts, that's important because we need that heart pumping and we need that heart to be healthy, because people run around here talking about living their best life, but if you're not here, you can't live your best life. So there are health benefits to just being kind. Kindness is also contagious, y'all. You want to pay it forward. So think about when someone is kind to you. You don't want to be mean to them. You want to return the kindness. And kindness has a multiplying effect. So when you see someone doing something kind, you want to pay it forward and you want to do something kind. But before I go any further, I want to bring on my guest. As I stated, my guest today is Beck of Purple Moon Escapes. And she's also part of my Women Bosses series. Welcome to Shine, and thank you for shining with me, Den.
Good evening. How are you?
I am well. Thank you for shining with me. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me, and happy birthday to you.
Thank you. It's been I've been trying to get this show started, and I've had some mishaps, so I was trying to, and then and it's very rare that I have mishaps when I'm getting the show started, but usually when I do, the couple times that I've had different troubles, it always turned out to be a great show. And I think sometimes when we're giving messages like this, and we're talking about empowering people, sometimes the devil tries to come on in.
Devil is a liar. We know that. So we just got to keep moving forward, keep pushing.
Absolutely. I've been running, and it's pouring down raining, and I literally just got stuck in the rain right before I started this show. So I'm soaking wet. So that's why I kind of am all over the place right now, but I'm soaking wet. But as they say, the show must go on.
Absolutely.
So you are the perfect guest for this show, Den, for two reasons. You are a boss, and you are also on your journey of gratitude and kindness and getting back to yourself, and you live your life on purpose. And that's what I'm seeing about you, and that's what I love about you. So can we just talk about that for a moment?
Ooh, yes. I don't even know where to begin. I mean, I think this is definitely an appropriate topic for me, and I truly appreciate you asking me to be a guest, because every day, I start my day off, just thanking God for, His grace, His mercy, and just everything that He has brought me through, everything that He has done for me. When I look back at where I was this time last year, I was in a much different place. I was a mess. I was a mess, just coming out of a relationship that I had been in. I was engaged to be married, and I had to break that off, and I didn't know what was next, and with working with a life coach and really taking the time to self-reflect, taking the time to understand that this wasn't the end of the world, and taking the time to ask the question, out of, in this situation and out of all of the other situations that I've been in that have failed, what was the common denominator? And I had to take a hard look at myself and say, what part did I, play in this as well? So, the fact that I was able to kind of check myself and say, okay, now I need to course correct what has been happening in my life, not just from this relationship, but from past relationships as well. And, see what I was going to do differently. And the only way I could have done that was by spending time by myself, self-care, and just learning to get back to me again.
And I love that, and I couldn't have said it better myself. I think that was very important what you said, and I really want to just hone in to that for a moment. You said the common denominator was you. You said a few things that I want to touch on. First, you said that you decided to walk away from a relationship. A lot of people are afraid to do that because they think that train may never come. So first, I want to commend you for seeing what wasn't right and deciding to walk away from that and to walk away from the hopes of marrying this man. And I think that was really key because so many people put other people above them and they feel that something isn't right, but they won't go further. So first, I want to acknowledge and thank you for that. And then you said, that the common denominator was you. And of course, sometimes in relationships, we date the same people, just with different faces, and you're attracting certain type of people. Did you feel that you were attracting the same type of person because you weren't healed or you didn't deal with your stuff first? Or do you think that they were different? Okay.
That's exactly what it was, and, it's like when we say we are what we eat, we are what we attract. And, when you have you have a level of brokenness about you, sometimes we don't even know that because, we put this Band-Aid, on things and, we're not completely healed. So, what happens when it's one broken person, but when there are two broken people and they come together, that's just a recipe for disaster. And, that's exactly what happened. And, I completely, just was so consumed with ensuring that this person was happy. I was consumed, with looking for happiness in someone else. And when I wasn't truly happy with myself and what I was doing and who I was. I had just completely, stopped doing the things that I love doing and just really, just stopped focusing on me and relied, on this relationship.
And you know what, Dan, so many women do that and men do it as well. They get so consumed with the relationship and the needs of the other person, they forget about their needs, or they don't even remember what made them happy or what made them smile or what makes them sad. They're almost living this robotic life and trying to be everything for everybody else, but they're dying inside, or they're not doing the things that make them happy, or they haven't taken the time to discover what makes them happy. And you really just inspired somebody out there, because somebody is in a relationship right now feeling the same way you did, and they feel like they're stuck, because some people feel like they're stuck in a relationship. Did you feel that at all, or you knew that you had to go for the betterment of you?
Well, at some point, I felt like, because me, I don't like giving up. I don't like failing at anything. So, and I'm the fixer. I was the fixer. I could fix anything. I could, get through anything. So I knew, I felt like, okay, I'm not going to give up on this. I can fix this problem. I can fix him. I can make it work, because that's what I do. That's who I am. And it just, truly sucked the life out of me. And, there was a point where there wasn't a day that went by that I didn't cry. Like, I cried every single day, for months at a time. And, to the point where even when I talked to, people about it, they were like, oh, girl, it's just you. Oh, this, he loves you. He's a nice guy, and it was just, but that wasn't the case.
Isn't that something?
Things just started coming together, and it was just like, oh my gosh, and I beat myself up over it until I realized that, wait a minute, it's not just me.
Right.
Something is truly going on here.
But I find that interesting. I find that interesting because that happens a lot. When someone is pretty much literally, like you said, crying out and crying, and you're unhappy and you're talking to those who love you, they only see, it's interesting when you're dealing with a strong woman per se, they only see what the other person is doing and not really what you need or that person in that situation needs. And I think that people get it twisted in relationships where they think, okay, because this person is checking off all of these items on the list, then that must be the greatest person for you. Meanwhile, you're crying every day. And I just find that really interesting. They're like, well, he checks this off or she checks this off, so what's the problem? And it reminds me of a red tape.
Well, that's a whole nother show when you just talk about that, the narcissistic tendencies. That's, getting into that. So, that's just what they do and who they are.
Right.
So, that's just a part of what was going on.
Right. So we're talking about gratitude and kindness. Tell me what you do to practice gratitude. And are you as kind as you would like to be to others?
You know what? That's just it's just a part of me. It's just how I live my life, waking up every single day. The first thing I do, when I get up is to just really get on my knees and just thank God and, for another day, for another chance to just get it right, and to walk like him, talk like him, and just, be the person that he wants me to be. It has nothing, this journey that I've been on this past year, it has nothing to do with me, what I wanted, because things are happening, and I'm like, what? You want me to do what? I can't, and it's just like, I'm like, okay, and all I can do is say, thank you for, everything that has happened, in this past year.
Right, and I think that that's what prepares us for next level, whatever next level business, next level relationship, next level life, next level careers, whatever it is. I think that you have to live a little life. You have to go through something. Sometimes you got to bang your head on the wall once or twice. I mean, just fully understand your fullest potential and what you're called to do. And sometimes what you're called to do comes from pain, comes from sadness, comes from despair. And you don't know what you're capable of until you're faced with it. So when I listen to you and I see your posts and I see what you're doing, and we're going to talk about Purple Moon Escapes in a moment, but I see that you are on a journey, it appears to me. And I'm on one too. That's why I can recognize that. And I know a lot of people are on a journey. And that's really self-care and getting back to who they are and what they really love and what they really like. And like you said, you're a fixer. So when you are a fixer of any sorts, whether it's with a man, whether it's a girlfriend, whether it's with your job, when you are a fixer, everybody comes to you. And that's why I always tell people, check on your strong friends. See what your strong friends are up to. See what they're doing. But I think it's beautiful that something that was difficult for you turned into your purpose. It had you rediscover you. Do you feel like at this point, like you're rediscovering who you are?
Absolutely. And, as each day goes by, I'm discovering, new things all the time. And it just, I've learned that as, being a planner and, organizing things, I learned that I won't always know what the how is, but that's not up for me to figure out. That's not up to me. So, if I have that plan in place, if it's meant to be, I know that it's going to happen. And that's the peace that I have in my life right now. And that's, the one thing that I'm truly grateful for is to just being at that place of peace where, I know things are going to happen. I know those challenges are going to come up, but I know at the end of the day that everything is going to work out just the way that it's supposed to.
Absolutely. I'm a firm believer of that. And as we talk about gratitude and kindness, I think the person that you need to be the kindest to is yourself. And a lot of people can be kind to other people and tear themselves apart. And I see it time and time again, not just in my life coaching sessions, but just in life in general, and just seeing people. They praise other people, or they're able to give other people compliments or find the good in someone else. but they're not kind to themselves. Have you seen that? And what do you think about that?
Absolutely. I mean, that's where it starts. Mm-hmm. It starts, with our thoughts. It starts with our words. And it starts with how we feel about ourselves. Like, we can't be anything to anybody else if we don't feel that towards ourselves first.
Absolutely.
So that's why that self-care, that self-love is so, so important, because, and eventually, like, if you are trying to convey that to everyone else and you're not doing that to yourself, again, that's just a recipe for disaster.
Absolutely. The first person is you. It's mm-hmm. People say it all the time. It's a cliche. It's become a cliche, but it's really true. You can't love anyone else until you really love yourself. And if you love yourself, you treat yourself with kindness and you practice self-care. You take care of yourself, mind, body, and spirit. And you make sure you're okay and you're walking this walk okay. Everybody is on a journey. It's just, what journey are you on and how are you going to get to your destination, and what are you trying to achieve, and what do you want for yourself? Everybody at different times, everybody's on a journey. So when I think about gratitude and I think about kindness, and I stated some facts earlier because there are a lot of benefits in both. But when you're talking about gratitude and you're talking about kindness, do you practice what you preach? Because I see a lot of people on social media, oh yes, practice gratitude, the attitude of gratitude, and then the next post is cussing somebody out. And I understand.
Yeah.
And we are layered human beings, but if you're on a journey of peace, then you got to stay on that journey all the way through. And when I look at your posts, I see exactly what your mission is. I see exactly what your purpose is, and I see you for who you are. So when I think about Purple Moon Escapes, and it really doesn't surprise me, and it's not. I want you to let's just talk about that for a moment before I go any further. Can you tell people what Purple Moon Escapes is all about?
Yes, Purple Moon Escapes is my baby. It's been, born. It's almost a year old now, but it is a full-service luxury experience planning company, just helping, people, helping women, men, helping people to escape and experience the life they truly deserve. It doesn't matter, and I'm a firm believer, and I've experienced, I've lived it. It doesn't matter what we've been through. Everything is possible,
mm-hmm.
just with consistency.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? And we don't. And you talked about, something I want to just kind of go back to. You talked about, when we're on this journey, when we're trying to figure it out. Sometimes we don't know what it is.
That's right.
But those are the times when, I've learned what has been helpful to me is just being still and
Absolutely.
just disconnecting,
Absolutely.
And just unplugging and just kind of just being quiet. No TV, no social media,
mm-hmm.
No cell phone,
mm-hmm.
no anything,
mm-hmm.
and just being still. And you'd be amazed by, when it's quiet, the things that come to light.
Absolutely. And when I think about stillness, I think about peace, and I think about God, and also meditation. That's something that I incorporated mm-hmm. in my life a few months ago. I've been talking about it, but a few months ago was when I really started. Now, I've done it while I've done yoga before, but actual meditation and practices, I started that because I believe that too, Jen, that you should be still and really get in tune with who you are. What do you say to the people that think that's kind of cosmic? Well, I pray, I can't meditate. What do you say about that? Because I've heard people say that and I've had to explain it. How would you explain that, the difference?
I mean, it's just, the difference to me is, when you're praying, it's like you're talking to God and, you're putting it out there. And with meditation, it's a stillness, and that's when you're waiting to hear from God. And that's what works for me,
yep.
And I know that's when I need that the most, that's what I need to do.
Absolutely. And that was a perfect definition and explanation. And that's how I kind of look at it too. Just getting back to who you are. And like you said, putting all the devices away and all of the things that block that peace. Because social media has its ups and it has its downs. When you're thinking about social media and what you're looking at, and to see if you got likes and who's on what and who's doing what. And sometimes that kind of takes you off of that path when you're commenting or when you're posting or when you're concerned about what other people are doing. So I want to get back to Purple Moon Escapes, which I love the name. Because you are a woman boss and you are featured as a woman boss. So tell me what that journey was like, discovering that. How did you come up with the name? Why did you think what you're doing is necessary and important? Because it's very necessary and important.
Absolutely. It's so funny how the name came up, and I was with a girlfriend of mine, and we were at the spa. We were at a spa, and I think we were in maybe one of the jacuzzis or the sauna, and we just started talking about this business, and we know we were thinking of a name, and we knew purple had to be in it, because purple, I have always loved the color purple. It's the color of royalty, and we just knew that had to be a part of it. And as we continue to throw around names, we really talked about what I wanted it to mean. And, when you think about it, purple and then the moon is really because we can have it all. We deserve the moon. And then escapes is just being able to escape that to you, to happiness and to peace. And that doesn't necessarily always mean a trip or a vacation. But it's, I find my Purple Moon Escapes, when I'm at home and I turn on my favorite song, I light my candles, and I'm just relaxing. My Purple Moon Escapes is when I'm reading my favorite book, or talking, to, one of my children, or spending time with my family. That is, my happy place. That is what Purple Moon Escapes is all about, finding your happy place and what makes you happy.
And I think that was wonderful. And it's so funny because I have a business, which I'll talk about later, and purple is in the name of my business too. And I got the domain name a while ago. So I'm going to launch the business next year. And purple and purple is in the name, and it's going to fall in line with what I'm doing. And I'm so excited. I don't want to talk about it yet until it is official, but purple is in the name. And just like you just broke down your name, that's why I broke down my name. It's because I feel that also, like the purple, it's royalty. There's a lot of significance in the color purple, and then my next name as well. I'm talking in code because I don't want to say what it is, but I think it's important to have a meaning behind any business or anything that you do. And because of that mission and because of that purpose for your business, people will feel that. And I love that you said moon, because you deserve the moon. And so many people, not just women, there's so many people out there that don't realize their value. They don't realize they deserve the moon. They feel like they don't know how to escape, because they're going through the circle of life, and sometimes that circle of life can bite you in the butt. A lot of people don't feel like they can escape, or I don't deserve this because I've been through this or I've been through that. What would you tell that woman who has been through hell and back? You said last year was one of the worst years of your life. What would you tell a woman that's in that position right now? How would you tell them to escape, and what would you tell them about themselves and how resilient they are?
All I can do is, because everybody's healing, everybody's story is different. And all I can do is share my story and what I've been through, and just be completely honest about it, completely transparent, and just let them know that there is light at the end of the tunnel. And just share the steps and the things that I went through, to kind of get me, to this place. you know, and it's a continuous journey,
Yeah.
you know, because even though I'm here right now, trust and believe, there are those moments, you know, when I come home and it's a Friday night and I'm like, oh, what am I doing? Like, I don't have anything to do, you know, where
Right.
I, you know, and I have to say, okay, girl, step out of it. Like, you got, like, you're working on, like, 6 trips right now. You better sit at that, you know, computer and get busy, you know. So, you know, it's like, you know,
because it's a journey, it's a process.
To be okay. Absolutely, absolutely. So the biggest piece of advice that I can say is it's going to be okay, and you are not alone. And that's the biggest piece of it, because I think as women sometimes, and especially as strong women, we don't want people to know our business.
Absolutely.
You know, we and especially with social media out there, like, God, you know, everybody portrays the happy side, like what's going on, you know, the trips and the family and this and that, but you know, but that's not real. That's not real if you're famous, and that's just not the
if you're
reality,
a human being,
you know,
if you're
of
a
what
human
love
being.
is all about.
That's right, because if you're a human being,
it's
you're
not
going
the reality.
Absolutely, because if you're a human being, you're going to go through ups and downs. That's just a part of life. That's how life works. And I always say that women need to share their stories to let the other woman know that it's okay. It's a safe place to talk about whatever's going on. Now, I know some women make it difficult to speak to them because people do a lot of gossiping and sharing business. But when you're walking in your truth and you're telling your truth and that's your truth, you take the bullets out the gun, and which means no one can use your truth against you. And I think it's very important for women to share their testimony like you're here doing that. And I'm so proud of you, and I'm so happy that you are on the other side, that you're able to show someone, hey, I was here, but look at me a year later. You know, I'm doing my own thing. I'm traveling. Somebody just went to Bali.
I did.
Somebody got their Eat, Pray, Love.
I did.
You had your Eat, Pray, Love.
I did, and I'm going back next year. Absolutely.
Wow.
So I'm super excited. Yeah, that was life-changing. So.
Wow. And I want to touch on that. I just want to finish this up real quick, and then I really want to touch on that and what a trip can do to change your thoughts and the way you think about life and the way you think about other people and the way you think about yourself. But before we go into that, I just want to encourage someone out there, whoever's listening, and you feel like you're going through something now and it's the end of the world. It may seem like the end of the world right now, but it really is not the end of the world. Think about something that you've gone through in your past and you were like, oh, I'm never going to get through this. This is terrible. It's the end of the world. And now 2 years later, 5 years later, 10 years later, you're like, yeah, that was a piece of cake. I'm kind of strong. You know, you got to think about how resilient and how strong you are. And if you got through that, you can get through this. So I just really want to encourage someone to just keep walking, keep going, and really, really keep the faith and get back to what's important. All right. Amen. All right. So let's talk about this trip to Bali. We got about 3 minutes. And I know you can't get it all in 3 minutes, but why you said this trip was life-changing. What were some of the things that happened? Because Bali is beautiful.
I mean, it is, you know, and to be together, you know, with 20 like-minded women, you know, where we just really enjoyed each other's company and just really, you know, it was just a renewal of just mind, body, and spirit, you know, with the resting and, you know, just the camaraderie and the harmony that we shared together. It was truly and, you know, the theme of the trip was just abundant and beautiful. And, you know, that's the way we felt. And, you know, and that's where we were. And, you know, and those relationships, you know, we continued, you know, to cultivate, you know, even coming back from Bali. And it inspired me. Like, you know what? More women need to experience this. So, you know, I'm in the midst of planning my self-care Bali retreat for 2020. So I'm super excited about that. So.
And that, you know what? 20 women, like-minded women were on a journey together. How cool is that, first of all?
Yeah.
Secondly, did you know the people? Was it someone that came together through Purple Moon Escapes?
So this was actually this group was through my life coach, the group that she has.
Mm-hmm.
And, a lot of the times, so we're together, in a group on Facebook, but for the most part, it was a lot of times, it was the first time, a lot of us met each other.
Oh, wow.
And a lot of us just communicated via social media. So,
wow.
It was, we were, roommates and everything. And the bond, again, was amazing, between all of us.
So you know what? And I really believe that. And I know that there were some powerful conversations. There was some power in silence, power in your journeys and what you were doing over there. I've never been to Bali, but I do watch Eat, Pray, Love, and yep. I see beautiful pictures. I actually watched it on my birthday again.
Okay.
So I have it fresh in my mind. Of course, I haven't been yet, but I would love to go there one day. I think everyone needs that life-changing trip. And you might not be able to go to Bali, but you can drive somewhere. You can go to the beach. You can go to the water. You can go wherever you feel safe, wherever you have room to grow. Because a lot of people think about a trip and they're like, well, I don't have the money. I don't have the finances to get on the plane, but you can get in a car. What you think about that, Den?
You can do a staycation.
That's
you can,
right.
Like everybody has mm-hmm. a comfort inn,
mm-hmm.
somewhere, something around where they are, where they have, their complimentary breakfasts in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
They have an indoor pool. So you can kind of just treat yourself to just staying somewhere close to home where you don't even have to, just get in the car and, do a 2 or 3 hour drive, and just make it happen.
Absolutely.
And, when you talk about living the life that you want, living the life you deserve, that's a part of, manifesting that life,
Absolutely.
is doing, things like that. And again, it starts with our thoughts, with our words, and then just doing it and feeling it and making it happen that way.
Absolutely. You have to get back to who you are and who you were designed to be. And through life, sometimes it's difficult to really see who you really are because you're going through stuff and you don't see who you really are. But you are a king, you are a queen, and people throw that around all the time and people just think it's, oh yeah, but you really, really are. Think about how far you've come. Think about the things that you've gone through. Think about the lessons that you've learned and the blessings that you encountered. It doesn't matter if you've been through something. Everybody has been through something. But how you bounce back is really, really what counts. And you really have to start with yourself. You have to take that personal journey. Everyone has to do that to really get back to what's important. And as we talked about gratitude and kindness, practice both of them. I have a gratitude journal, and every day I write in there what I'm grateful for. Mm-hmm. It's just a sentence, a word. It can just be anything. Before we end, I want you to just give parting words to someone who is not taking care of themselves. Tell them the importance of that in about 30 seconds, and then also give your social media handles and let them check out your website.
Absolutely. The last, I'd like to end on by saying we are, as women, we have to continue on this journey of healing, of self-love and self-care. And, when you talk about being kind and, being grateful and give back to others. So, I so appreciate Kendall giving me the opportunity to come on and to share my story. And just to say, we are to heal. We are blessed, to be a blessing to others. And, in a way, we have to be able to give back. So I remember someone saying to me, you know what, I said to them, I got
about 10 seconds.
Like telling my business, but I like sharing my story, and
Absolutely.
That's what I feel like I can do to help others.
Absolutely.
So,
and I'll put
PurpleMoonEscapes.com.
I know the time goes by so quickly. I love you and I mean it. Thank you so much for shining with me today. I greatly and humbly appreciate you. Continue on your journey and continue inspiring other people to live their best lives.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right. God bless. Until next week. Peace.
Shine with Kendall Lanice. Real talk for real people.